Hi, everybody. It's me. It's Dr. Kestler from Lorain County Community College, and welcome to another co-video. This is the 10th. This is Good Friday, so this will be the Good Friday edition. I will not be putting one forth on Easter, just so that you guys know there won't be one this Sunday. All right, so we'll start with my temperature, and I have been getting a lot of comments from friends all over the world about my temperature being so low, and I guess I'm just a cold person. That's all I can say. I do have a low temperature. It might be my thermometer, but I'm not willing to switch my thermometer out now because I got a thing going on, and I just want to, for reference, I'm looking for fluctuations more than anything else. All right. Quick thanks to a couple of fans, Barb and Bob, for my mask. That you can see me right there in my my new face mask that I wear when I go out. I haven't actually gone out yet anywhere. My wife and I have been doing a very good job of sheltering in place, and so. But if you do see me out, this is what I look like with my mask on, my really cool mask. All right, so one of the things I want to talk about here for just a second is globalism and nationalism, and I do not intend to get at all political about this. Um, Nationalistic movements have happened all over the world. That's not just something that has happened in the United States. Um, but I got to tell you, if I get a vaccine from France, I will be just as happy as if it comes from America, because that vaccine will mean we can end this thing. And I think it is a really good time to be pushing everybody forward. Everybody should be working together, cooperating together. This is not a time to push back at other countries. And there certainly are some other things going on in other places that we need right now. For instance, we can get medical supplies from India, as well as we can get them from Ohio, the state that I live in. And it's great. They're good from wherever they come from. So if we're getting medical supplies from China or from India or wherever, or United States or Ohio or wherever, they're all good. It's all good. It adds to the help. It adds to unburden the people who are working in healthcare right now, and who are just facing horrendous kinds of things. I happened to listen to a podcast this morning, or it was NPR. They were talking to a chaplain from a hospital in New York, and it was a lot, and what this guy has been through in New York, New York, where they can't even keep up with the deaths, and I think that staying inside, staying at home, is kind of not a big deal relative to what some other folks are going through. Just want to point that out. Today is Good Friday, and it is Easter. Speaking of global kinds of things, it is Easter in Africa. It is Easter in Asia. And so everywhere people are celebrating, and everywhere people are suffering right now. We want to think about everybody everywhere. I do want to follow up on a couple of science things now. And the science things I want to follow up on is Iceland. And, we've been following Iceland's whole story for quite a while, and Iceland is testing everybody. That's just it. They test everybody. And they don't have a lot of social distancing in place. They don't have a stay-at-home order. They simply solve it by, hey, you're positive, go home. Stay home for 14 days. And by the way, who have you contacted in the last 5 days? We're going to go test them too. And we test them, and they stay home. And to a large extent, Iceland is, I know Iceland is small, and it's not like New York City. But I think it seems to be working. And of course, we want to follow this. And the reason we want to follow this is because, we're we're going to get through this. But I do need everybody to remember one thing. We're going to be at risk for other diseases as well. I'll get into that in a little bit later on. One of the things you hear people talk about what the different viruses, and I talked about naming viruses a while back, and this COVID-19 is a world virus. It isn't European, it isn't Chinese, it isn't American. It appears that the epidemic that is currently going on in New York came from Europe. So viruses don't know borders. Viruses don't know what their country of origin is. And this is clearly a world problem. I know the prosecutor and everybody wants to place blame on somebody. But there's going forward, there's a lot we can do working together. And again, that's a good idea, to work together. One thing I want to just leave with on this video is that this is kind of a predicted thing, and we call these things spillover. And when we go from one animal reservoir to another one, and the first person who ever documented this was Edward Jenner years ago, and I think I mentioned him earlier. The speed of spillovers of an animal disease leaving one animal and going into the human population is going faster and faster. And that is because we are paving paradise and putting up a parking lot, to make it, to use a song reference. We are intruding into natural habitats of animals more so than we ever have. And every time you do that, you create another opportunity for an event to happen, like this one. This is an event. Next time it'll come from someplace else, probably maybe Africa, maybe China, maybe someplace entirely. These are things that we're going to have to think about. And we have branches of the government who are working towards, one of my former students, Jared, is working towards preventing these things from occurring in other places in the world. And we need more of that. We need people. We need a younger generation. A lot of you people are inspired about science right now, and I'm happy as can be about that. And I would like to encourage everybody to try to join in that battle, join in the fight. Keep being good to each other. That's what I got to tell you. Keep being good to each other. There are good things. There are good stories going on all over the place. There are people who are going through some really difficult things right now, and there are people who are rising up to the occasion and helping out. So keep being good to each other, and may you persist like a lentivirus. Thank you, and happy Easter.